Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel, Gilded Rose Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, Cancer. Hello, Cancer. We're going to talk about your January 2021. So, as I was shuffling the cards and getting into your energy, I kept getting messages that you need to change. You need to heal. You kind of go through like maybe a healing change. Um, and you're kind of balancing out, yourself. You're balancing out. Like, you're balancing out your emotions. If you've been, like, there is just an equalizing of a focus on equalizing energies within you. Okay, great. Let's get into these cards. So you're showing up as the Ten of Pentacles crossed by the Six of Swords. And to me, I mean, okay, Ten of Pentacles, there, yes, is all about stability, fulfillment materially. You may have reached the top of, like, if you like joined a company and you've been wanting to be the president or the CEO, you reached that height. Or if there's like, I wanted to make $1 million this year, you made $1 million this year. And Ten of Pentacles, you really got to the end of that goal, materially. But also the Ten of Pentacles can really bring up, and this is what I think what we're talking about in this reading, more so comfort, physical comfort, like comfort almost to a fault, when everything is taken care of for you and you're in a space where you're fine, you don't need to do a lot of work to exist, do a lot of work to spend a lot of money to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're comfortable. You won't want to move from there because I'm fine. You're definitely in a space where you're being taken care of, but you might have grown out of this space. It might grow stagnant if you stay much, much longer. Rooted by the Six of Swords. Funny to see the Six of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles, because the Six of Swords is literally the opposite of the Ten of Pentacles for me. And that's why I'm getting like a need to change up the scenery due to like comfort, and growing too comfortable. Six of Swords is all about traveling, all about like moving, seeking a refuge, really. We seek refuge when, shit hits the fan and we can't live in our home anymore. We can't stay home anymore. So like a lot of people in the beginning of these lockdowns in March and April, they sought refuge and moved back home with their parents, moved back to their hometown, or just, sought refuge within their homes and did not leave the house. Flew home. Like there was a lot of this year needing to seek refuge, needing to go go back home or find a new home. And so definitely like on what's on the forefront of your mind this month might be a new beginning, might be trying to move, trying to find a new place to live, a new place to call your home. Yeah. The six is also about healing. The number six is about healing. You might be trying to heal past energies. You might be trying to heal by traveling. You might be trying to heal. You might have just had a very healing traveling experience, very informative traveling experience. And so now you're like, oh, I traveled there and now I know I want to move there. Or I traveled to this place and so now I know it's like for me. And so now in your physical comfort, in your material comfort, and from your place of having, a lot of mobility because you're so solid, you really are like, I can actually do what I want and find, I just gotta pick it and go for it. start moving in that direction. And ultimately moving away again from physical comfort, but that's fine. You know, you got to spend money to make money. Let's get into the week to week. The Fool is a lovely card to see as the first week of a new year. It's literally the first week of the year. The first week of the year is the Fool. You're on a brand new thing. The Fool, I love her because the Fool really is like it's the fool is they. Like, you can't get a gender from the Fool. The Fool is genderless. So it's like the Fool lives outside of the human experience. Like, the Fool is like the one genderless card in the tarot traditionally. I can't wait till we get more tarot decks that give us, you know, just a lot of, you know, genderlessness, because, yeah. Anyway, the Fool is outside of the human experience. So when we are the Fool and we're showing up as the Fool is showing up as an energy, like, we're really in a spot. The Ten of Pentacles highlights this, really in a spot where we can do whatever we want. We have so much mobility. We have all this mobility because we are kind of not in a cycle anymore. We aren't following a track, you know. I'm not at this job anymore. That job doesn't exist. And so now I'm here in this place back where, you know, I'm here in this place where I can now kind of do anything. I can make whatever move I want. I can move in any direction because I have nothing to lose and I'm not throwing anything off. You know, it's like I don't have a family, I don't have a significant other, I don't have a house or material things to really worry about. So I can really just up and travel for the next year. I can really just up and like move complete to a different country or different, like across the country, or move to a different country or a different place, because I have that mobility and that opportunity. I am outside of the human experience, my human experience right now. I am in a place where everything is still and I can really have a whole new life if I want to. And so you really may be feeling like that, and you may be ready to like take the leap in something new. Week 2, Queen of Wands. She is savvy, networking, charming, warm, confident, and courageous. These are all the energies I feel like you might be bringing into the second week. You may be feeling very motivated and ready to tackle that new beginning. You may be like, okay, I'm going to figure out what I want to do. And it's the Queen. You're showing up as the Queen, like you're in charge. You are charting the course. You're in charge of your passions. You're in charge of where you're going, and you're in charge and of your own will. You're able to like cast your own will throughout your life and make things happen for you and only for you. No more are we worried about what other people are doing. No more are we worried about like what this means for other people, and what I'm doing how it'll affect those around me and the surroundings. No more are we focusing on that. We are focusing on ourselves and tuning into what we want to create, what we want to self-actualize. It's really such a masterful form of you, because especially Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, having Cancer energy as your dominant energy, you are highly intuitive. You're highly in tune. So being able to like adopt this like very assertive energy, this enterprising energy, like you're unstoppable. Like, as someone with prominent Cancer placements in both my sidereal and tropical natal charts, I really identify with the need to like process everything and process information that I get, and like how is that going to make me feel? How's that going to make them feel? How am I going to feel after they feel that? So maybe I shouldn't say this, or maybe I'll approach it this way, or I'll wait to do this because then I'll feel good. You know what I mean? And in my processing, I can take a lot more time to do things. And I can maybe like not do some things because I've processed it to a point where I'm like, that's actually a bad idea, because I'm going to feel this way and I'm going to make that person feel that way. So I just shouldn't do it. But with the Queen of Wands, you're really cutting that processing time in half. You're really cutting the middleman. No need to process anything because you're so in tune with your intuition. You're just acting and going on your instincts and on your intuition. So it's an amazing energy to see. You're not really processing as much internally, whereas you're just kind of like processing as you go. The third week, the Lovers. To me, this really encompasses the entire theme of this reading. It's like through the physical comfort that you'd been feeling, through this even stagnation, I'm going to call it a stagnation too, through the stagnation you've been feeling, you now, first week, taking that leap, the Fool, deciding what course you want to chart. And then week 2, Queen of Wands, really self-actualizing and making things happen for yourself and pulling things into your sphere through your own will. The third week, you can really start to be like, whoa, I'm learning things about myself. I'm a whole new kind of person. Like, I'm a whole new kind of person. The Lovers is all about duality, all about masculine and feminine, light and dark meeting, and just like what that does and what that can do. When light and dark meet, when earth and water meet, fire and all of these things meet, it spontaneously creates life. One of my favorite images to see is like a creek. Where the creek meets the earth is like all of this foliage, all of these plants. Like, the things can't help but grow and change and transmute and transform when met with its opposite. You know what I mean? So definitely in the third week, you're going to be faced with that theme, and definitely within yourself, you're going to be like balancing these fluctuating constant energies within yourself. You're going to even realize and tune into the fact that like you are constantly fluctuating between like percentages of masculine and feminine energy. You're constantly fluctuating between like internal expression and external expression, and where to use your internal expression, where to use your external expression, and all of that good stuff. You are really now like you're really doing some like inner healing and inner work, and realizing and tuning into parts of yourself that you shut down, maybe because they were too emotional or too sensitive, or that didn't feel like the path that you wanted to be on. Now you're kind of like healing all of that and accepting those parts of yourself, and really doing that shadow work and seeing yourself as something different than before, but something stronger, something better, something more authentic and genuine, authentic to yourself. Week 5, week 4, oh my God, week 5, week 4, diving into creativity with the Page of Cups, you are really getting creative, I would say. You start to feel like you have your footing down in terms of like whatever this new beginning is or was. And I mean, like, really could be in like such a relative sense. Because whenever we start something new, like feeling like we know what we're doing, you know, you always find out that you'll find from a year from now that you actually really have no fucking clue still. So it is all relative. But even more so than creativity, I'm really finding that you guys are now tuning into yourselves. You might be like taking yourself out on a date. I love to take myself out on dates. So you really might be cause sometimes, you know, you gotta just take yourself shopping, go to the park, sit by some water, go out, go order some takeout by yourself. Like those moments, like you don't realize how much of yourself that you know or don't know, depending on how much time you are focusing on yourself and going within. I really feel like for most of those cancers who are not completely like super duper in tune with themselves and or super duper keen on spending a lot of alone time, having a lot of alone time, spending a lot of time with themselves alone. I think in the fourth week you're really going to start to do that, and you're going to like be taking yourselves on dates, sitting across from the table from yourself, asking yourself about yourself and learning more about yourself, doing that shadow work and sitting with your shadow self and the parts of yourself that you once hated or once thought were stupid or immature or too sensitive. You're now really joining to yourself and joining to the self, like you're taking that with you through your life, whereas before you're like, I'm too sensitive, so I'm gonna like hold it together and not be as sensitive in these areas and like really be a tough guy and like not cry and blah 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 or whatever. Now you're like, I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna like be me and like hold the opinions that I hold and hold these sensitivities that I hold, and like it's just gonna be me, and I'm gonna not feel so ashamed about showing my vulnerable self anymore to anyone. That starts with making sure you are comfortable with your vulnerable self. You may be taking on just a lot more. Like you might even be taking on like a therapist or taking on like some form of like self exploration. Like you really are coming into your own this month. There is a very little that scares you, very little that you feel you can't do, and you guys are charting a whole new course. And I'm excited for you, Cancer. I'm excited for you. So yeah, just welcome in the new, welcome in the change. It looks like you guys have grown stagnant where you're at, and you're looking for newness. You're looking for new friends, new places, new people, new things. You may be talking to all new people that you might not have talked to before. And you might even meet someone who's going to have a profound significance in how you view your either relationships or romantic relationships. And yeah, any romantic partners that you encounter right now will most definitely teach you some major lessons in how you handle romantic relationships and relationships in general. Yeah, it's this all is rooted by the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups again is all about like that creativity. There's a lot of Scorpio overtones in this depiction of the Prince of Cups, but I will just take that as like, it like there is this like there's like, if you're a creative person, a creative kind of person, like you know, like if you're thinking of like an artist, like there's either like that really brooding, dark, mysterious kind of artsy person, and you're like, oh, what's their deal? And like their art is all about like their darkness and their pain and blah 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 blah. Or there's the other person who's just very sunshiny bright and wears their heart on their sleeve and is like just totally open and feeling. I feel like you guys are the brooding type. My cancers that watch this. You may have been in like a brooding sort of like withheld dark, like I'm just like gonna chill out and stay in my room or like do my own thing and like brood and make art and like you guys don't understand me, blah 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 blah. And you'll kind of like come in to having after this whole month, a whole month of January, you might come into like a different aspect of yourself where you're like actually going to be more vulnerable about your feelings and expressing them, and that in turn will help your creativity and help your art and make it even that much more not authentic but universal. You'll be able to like reach and touch whoever and whatever with your art because you're being so vulnerable and authentic with yourself. Yeah, Cancer, I love to see it. I love this month for you. I guess for us, you know, I have a sidereal Cancer moon and I'm a Cancer rising in sidereal, both in sidereal and in tropical. I'm a Cancer rising. So yeah, hopefully some of these energies is gonna rub off onto me. Alrighty, great. Thank you so much, guys. Be blessed.